Hello everybody, Legend for Life here, bringing us a brand new video. This time around it's another top 10 list. I haven't done like any top 10 lists in like forever. I really want to try and do these again because I know you guys really like these. And so, with Konami finally moving on from the original series support, okay? Because they have been on this binge of, hey, let's make more Blue Eyes, more Dark Magician, more Blue Eyes, more Dark Magician. Oh, hey, let's throw in some Red Eyes, and oh, hey, some tunes too. But they were just piling on the legacy support for the original series. And yeah, that's cool and all. We got a lot of cool stuff. And a lot of decks that people want to play are now playable now. The issue is they are just now finally moving on to GX. And it's going in a different link format and everything. But either way, I'm just happy they're finally doing it. Giving more support to GX archetypes. And GX is really where archetypes started really being a thing. I mean, yes, technically, Archfiends are the oldest archetype in the book. Well, in the game, I really should say. And, originated in the original series with, good old Summon Skull and a few other cards that are technically Archfiend cards but don't have Archfiend in the name. GX is where they really solidified. I mean, heck, in your very first episode, you see Elemental Heroes versus Ancient Gears, and then throughout the entire series, you see Crystal Beasts, Destiny Heroes, Cyber Angels, Cyber Dragons, all these really cool archetypes and everything. And heck, Konami was really just learning how to make an archetype functional. Heck, how to even make an archetype in the first place. And a lot of the original archetypes in GX, a lot of monsters, while they have similar themes and like names and like artwork and stuff, a lot of them don't have anything to do with each other. Like heck, if you look at Roids, like very few Roid monsters actually support other Roid monsters or work together. And it's just, that's one of the reasons why it's one of the worst archetypes in the game. But anyways, so I digress. So, with Konami finally moving on to give GX archetypes more support, I wanted to comprise my top 10 list of these, and this is it. There will also be some honorable mentions, a few rules. So, if an archetype got some new support recently, it's not going to be on this list, because they got new support, okay? Which sadly means my personal favorite archetype, Destiny Heroes, won't be on this list, as much as I want them to be. Also, on that note, like how Konami took certain single cards in the original series and made them into full archetypes, like Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, stuff like that, I also decided to include some of those like iconic cards in GX that could possibly be made into a full archetype as well. So, without further ado, let's move on with number 10, Mokey Mokey! Starting off with a bit of a fan favorite meme of GX. And he is technically an archetype, he's got the one monster, the fusion, the spell, and the trap. I mean, that's almost enough to be an archetype, but there really could be a lot more. There's a actual consistent playstyle, the continuous spell keeps churning out more and more. Or wait, was it the spell that pumps up his attack power to 3,000? I can't remember. Anyway, so basically how Mokey Mokey works is that there is a trap card that is a part of the artwork, archetype I should say. I believe it's called like Human Wave Tactics or something. And basically, Mokey Mokey also has a spell card that increases his attack power to like 3,000 every time that one of the other monsters of, I believe it has to be like a level 3 or 2 or something like, or lower normal monster. Every time one is killed, Mokey Mokey jumps up to 3,000. And so basically you use Human Wave Tactics plus that spell card, and you basically just keep getting Mokey Mokey up to like 3,000 attack every time. And then he has a fusion monster, which is comprised of 3 Mokey Mokeys, which literally has just the effect of if you contribute it off, spell summon 3 Mokey Mokeys from your graveyard. And I would just really like to see Konami try and make this a full archetype, kind of like how they did with Red Eyes and Summons, well, not so much Summons Go, but like Blue Eyes and all that. Because it would be really intriguing to see how they would be able to do this. Like, heck, you could have like different versions of Mokey Mokey that all count as Mokey Mokey while on the field or in the grave. That way, so that then you can use them for the fusion and be able to swarm the field thanks to the fusion and stuff. And then not only that, but also like you could give them effects for, oh hey, whenever you battle with them, you take no battle damage, so then you can run them into one of your opponent's monsters, let them die, use a trap card, spell summon a dude, jump Mokey Mokey up to 3k, and then you have to continue a spell. And then, be able to get, like, a really decent amount of attack power, damage and stuff. It could be a really interesting OTK deck full of level 1 monsters. That'd be very funny. And I'd love that. It'd be very intriguing. And not only that, but also people just absolutely seem to love this guy. And I think part of the reason is because the guy who plays this is, like, seriously, I believe it's like episode 19. And it's like one of the funniest episodes of GX, because the guy who plays this, he has this like weird aura about him where he makes everybody around him basically high. It just is one of the funniest episodes of like the entire series I've ever seen. Next up, we got number 9, Charmer. Believe it or not, but Charmer's first debuted in the very first GX set. And Charmers are another big fan favorite archetype. They've gotten some support here and there over the past few years. I mean, heck, they've gotten their upgraded versions. They got the trap card that makes them all really good. And then finally, Lynn, no, not Lynn. I believe it is Lynn, right? The light one finally got her upgraded version in the most recent set. And yes, I know that's technically me breaking the, new support rule, but no, it's not. She finally just got her upgraded version, which we were waiting for, what, like 5 years for, something like that? This archetype is a big fan favorite. Heck, if you just search Yu-Gi-Oh! Charmer, you will find crap tons of freaking fan art of this archetype. And I absolutely love it too. I got most of the deck. I really do want to try and build it. But however, really honestly, the deck just doesn't really work, and I hate saying that. Okay, so all the Charmers themselves, there's one for every attribute except Divine, obviously. And they're all flip effect monsters with, I believe, 500 attack and 1500 defense. Whenever they're flip face up, you take control of one of your opponent's monsters of their corresponding attributes. So, like, here's a wind. She can take a wind, or Aria for a water, stuff like that. And when you do, you just get to keep control of that monster so long as the Charmer is around. And then their upgraded versions, which I believe are called Familiar or Possessed, I can't remember entirely off the top of my head. You contribute the original Charmer and a monster that is of the same attribute you control. So obviously, like, I deal with a monster you summon, and then special summon that possessed monster from your deck, or yeah, it has to be from deck. And then they get like ability to use piercing, and then Dark and the light one also have bonus effects whenever they are summoned. So. And then not only that, but also they have like their little buddies here. Each one of them, except for I believe this one right here, have actually no, he has, I believe most of them, except for Petite Dragon and Happy Angel here, have all gotten retrained as like these weird monsters with like 1500 attack and 200 defense that are able to be really, really utilized in the deck. So like for instance, Gigobite here. He got a upgraded version for the deck where, oh hey, if he's in your hand and you control a spellcaster, you can special summon him. And then if he dies, you can summon out another one of these little Charmer pals. I don't know. They don't actually have a archetypal name. They all just have 1500 attack and 200 defense. Oh yeah, Yari Foxfire, that's another one. So they all have a lot of synergy with that, and I really feel like that if Konami were to really try, they could make this deck very intriguing and very interesting. I don't know if they would be particularly good, but a lot of people love this archetype, and I would love to see it get upgraded. Not only that, but also, believe it or not, but they have ties to the DT. Win here is Winda's sister. I don't know how many people know that, but like you can see it in a lot of different things. I believe it was elaborated in like a lore book or something that was Japan only, but it's in a lot of different lore and stuff. On to number 8, Ojama, another big fan favorite. Ojama is one of the most obnoxious archetypes ever made, and that was the goal of this archetype. They are made to be obnoxious. The original 3, Ojama Black, Ojama Green, and Ojama Yellow, I believe were originally in the original series, and then they got the bulk of their support in GX, thanks to Chaz and just being and him using it all the time. And heck, believe it or not, but Ojamas also have like a crap ton of cards that never got printed from the anime. Like there's this one that turns them all into mechs and stuff. I don't get it, but it looked cool. And then also, they did get some more support in 5Ds as well with the Field Spell and Ojama Red and Blue. The issue is that even though the deck actually is pretty functional and everything, it's just not very good. And it's very hard to be able to actually really get the deck rolling and everything. So I feel like that if they were to give it more support, I know that a lot of people would be all on board with that. Like, a lot of people love their Ojamas. A lot of people hate them too, but I can't really blame them. I mean, look at this magnificent thing. Don't you just want to hug it? Next up is number 7, Venom. Venom. I honestly really like this archetype. I hate GX, not GX, Konami for making this deck just so mediocre. I mean, it was for the big bad of the one of the arcs, and he was really cool and awesome and like terrifying, and heck, the whole duel was freaking awesome. And then when you actually got the cards, there's just not enough to be a functional deck. I mean, there is kind of, sort of, but like, it just doesn't work. It works, but it doesn't work well, is what I'm trying to say. This deck could really do with a lot of new support, mostly monsters, I think. I feel like if they maybe also got an upgrade to Venom Swamp, that maybe instead of like during either player's end phase, it was like during whenever a monster was summoned. That'd be a lot better. And then like if the Venom counters did more than just reducing attack. But however, I digress. Venoms are just really awesome. We don't have any good reptile archetypes. I mean, Worms is like the best one. Aliens are close second. And Venoms are just kind of there. It really sucks. I really hope that this deck does get more support, though. Number 6 is Yubel. Another one of the fan favorite cards that's iconic from GX. Whenever you think of GX, you typically think of heroes, angels, dragons, cyber dragons, and then you also really think of Yubel. Oh yeah, and the Sacred Beast too. But however, Yubel is just really freaking awesome. A lot of people absolutely love her. People have tried so hard to make decks around her and everything. And yeah, you can make a functional Yubel deck. Nothing I would take to a tournament, even at the local standpoint. But however, Yubel, I feel like, is one of those big iconic cards where Konami could really take this small little series and flesh it out into a full archetype. Yubel has 3 forms: the original Yubel, Ultimate Nightmare, and I actually forgot what the other form was called off the top of my head. And really, honestly, all 3 of these forms are really great. And I feel like that if Konami could really go and flesh it out, give them like maybe like Yubel servants or something like that. I don't really know what they could do, but like really honestly, if they give them something that could like summon Yubel easily and activate and act as tribute fodder for Yubel, or maybe can like destroy Yubel on field or in hand or something to be able to trigger her effect, summon out the next form. It could be really good and be a terrifying deck because heck, if your opponent doesn't have a way to get rid of Yubel, they can't do anything to you, and it's hilarious. Next up, we got easily like the biggest fan favorite deck outside of Heroes, and that's Crystal Beast. I don't know of anybody who hates Crystal Beast. I really can't think of anybody who hates Crystal Beast. I know a lot of people hate Rainbow Dragon, but I love Rainbow Dragon, so let's not talk about that. So, Crystal Beasts are a really awesome deck. I can't help but feel like that Konami just keeps giving this deck the shaft. Now, yes, they finally did give them support in the form of 2 pendulums, 2 really good pendulums, I should say. Pretty decent quick play spell card that requires you to play Rainbow Dragon, and then a continuous trap card, and then of course also we got Advanced Dark finally way back in Return of the Duelist. Now the issue here is that none of this support is good enough to get the deck actually like competitively viable like a lot of people want it to be. And then even then, we don't even have the freaking pendulums, the quick play spell card, and the continuous trap over here in TCG yet. And by the time we do get them, it's going to be link format where the pendulums are rendered completely and totally useless. So really, in all honesty, Konami, what are you doing? This is a big fan favorite deck. Why do you keep screwing it over? You know, like really, honestly, all they got to do is make better versions of the turtle, the cat, and the eagle, and then maybe make a better version of Rainbow Dragon, and there you go. That's all the deck needs. The deck has so much support. It has so much potential. It has so much, like, just freaking awesomeness. Heck, it even has a freaking Stratos, and the deck can't do anything. I mean, like, the best variant I've ever seen is the one that I built, which was Metal Foe Crystal Beast. I hate to, like, show out for a second here, but I haven't seen anybody else try that, and I haven't seen like any other better versions of that. But granted, this deck is just, a lot of people want to see it be good. Konami, come on, get on it. This is a really big one, which kind of, it really does surprise me that they like decided to go with Roids and Cyberdarks first before they even thought to focus on the big, you know, main character decks that people absolutely love that like just haven't been able to do anything. Number 4 is Volcanic. People love Volcanics, and heck, the deck still has a crap ton of stuff never printed from the anime. Heck, this is from a card art in the anime. I forget what it's called. It's a continuous spell card, and basically once per turn you can mill the top 3 cards of your deck, and for every Volcanic card you burn your opponent for 500 damage. pretty decent, and yet it's never been printed out in real life. It's an anime-only card. And really, honestly, Volcanics have a crap ton of that anime-only stuff that they could just print if Konami wants to be lazy. But however, I really feel like that this deck could also benefit from just getting more stuff. Like a better version of Volcanic Doomfire. Don't get me wrong, I love Volcanic Doomfire. The design of him is great. I love his effect and everything. But really, in all honesty, Volcanic Doomfire could use an upgrade. And heck, also, you can never have too many different versions of Blaze Accelerator. So really, honestly, Konami can do a lot with this deck to make it a lot better. It's a very, very fan favorite deck ever since we got Reload, I believe is what it's called, the Continuous Trap card a while ago. And people just generally like this deck. It's surprising, honestly. But yeah, I like it too, and I want to see Konami try and give it more support. Number 3 is Cloudian. Arguably one of the worst archetypes ever printed. Konami has a lot of potential with this archetype. They've been really trying to make counters a bit better with Predaplants and stuff. And I feel like that they could take what they've learned with Predaplants and the other counter decks they've come out since Cloudians and really try and work to improve it. For a deck played by a main antagonist, dear lord, this deck is trash. Like, seriously. But, however, when this deck does get going, it can be scary, like, to be honest. But it takes so long to get going, it's not even funny. And this deck, ironically enough, did see competitive play for, like, a single format where there was, like, you could make, like, a 2-card Quasar with this deck or something. I can't remember. Like, there was a really, really, really powerful Quasar deck with Cloudians, and I really feel like that if Konami tries to go back and maybe like give Cloudian synchros or something, because due to their staying power, since they can't be destroyed by battle, they could really be useful for while making synchro plays, especially since little Cloudian Snowball here, I think that's what he's called, something like that, can be special summoned thanks to this dude very, very easily. I really feel like that they could really make this deck a synchro-based deck, maybe even give it a fusion or something since it's from GX and fusions was the thing. Cloudians have a lot of potential. I just feel like that Konami has really kind of screwed them over, which really does suck. And honestly, this deck can be scary once it gets going. Like, if you've ever had to deal with Cloudians whenever they have like set up their boards and gotten everything going, oh my god, it can be terrifying because they can just pick out cards out of your hand every turn, pop everything you control every turn, and it just gets really obnoxious. Next up, number 2, Neo-Spacian. Okay, / Elemental Hero Neos fusions and stuff. So, the main character's deck, okay, is just not relevant at all, and it's sad, okay? So, Neo-Spacian, they took over for the E-Heroes, kind of, sort of. He also still included E-Heroes in his deck. Of course, I'm referring to Jaden. And Neo-Spacians just aren't that great. I mean, granted, though, Grandma's still at 1, and good old Panther was actually seen back in, I believe, Rescue Cat format, because he was pretty good back then. But, like, aside from that, Neo-Spacians haven't done diddly squat. And that is really, really sad and just, like, pathetic for the main character's main deck. Like, that is just pathetic. It's the main character's deck. Why is it trash? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like all of the Neo-Spacians, at least these 4 here, could really use retrains. Obviously, their fusions with Neos could be a bit better. I feel like that they really, really need a better version of Neo-Space. And, like, just honestly, this deck, it deserves to be good. It's the main character's deck. Why is the main character's deck trash? I mean, heck, Dark Magician's good. Synchrons are good. Odd Eyes Performapal Pendulum Magicians are good. And Gagagas are kind of eh. But, like, seriously though, out of all of the main characters' decks, Jaden's is the worst. And it's sad. But anyways, under the honorable mentions. Okay, so honorable mentions, Cyberdarks. Okay, so I mentioned that Cyberdarks would not be on here, and I wanted to include them in the honorable mentions. Cyberdarks, I like what they got, but they need more. The new stuff is a great step in the right direction, but however, it's not going to be enough to get the deck going in terms of a competitive playstyle. I really feel like that they could really use a few more cards. Ideally, a few more main deck monsters, like the ones that can, you can discard to do stuff. Like maybe a Cyberdark monster you can discard, well, that's a level 3 dragon that you can discard another Cyberdark, and then draw 2 cards or something, like a D-draw for the deck. That'd be really good. Maybe another fusion of just the level 3 dragons. That'd be interesting. But really, honestly, I feel like that Cyberdarks could use a bit more. The new stuff is, however, a very good right step in the direction. Right right direction. You know what I mean. I don't know. I can't say that proverb. Next up, Cyber Angels. We finally got the freaking deck after like 15 years of waiting. And it's kind of okay? Cyber Angels are a really good deck. But however, it's just not as good as people wanted it to be, and I really feel like that they could benefit from a bit more support. Yes, I know that we did get Fishnu, and obviously, you know, the other spell card and a few other cards for the deck, but really, in all honesty, the deck still doesn't really function as an actual archetype in the sense that you don't see anybody playing it. Whenever you do see people play quote-unquote Cyber Angels, it's literally just Herald with Cyber Angel Benton, so they can search out another Herald and stuff. And that is really, really just... I hate that, and the fact that they call it Cyber Angels when it's literally just Herald with one Cyber Angel. Now, if Cyber Angels themselves could ever become a functional, you know, competitive deck, that'd be really awesome. I really honestly feel like that mainly they just need better... I hate to say this, I really do, but they need more searching. That's what the deck really does need. That or maybe some kind of draw power, something like that. Because honestly, I feel like the ritual monsters are just fine, but they tend to burn through their resources pretty fast. Then, of course, there's Destiny Heroes. I had to put them on honorable mentions. I couldn't put them on the actual list. But really, in all honesty, the new stuff they have been getting hasn't done much, and my personal playtesting doesn't do much for the deck. Yes, Utopia, Dusktopia and Dystopia are pretty cool. Yes, Deadly Guy, I believe is what he's called, is really awesome. But like the main deck stuff has been kind of lackluster, and I really feel like that's what they mainly need, is more main deck stuff that's just better. Because out of all the old Destiny heroes, only a few of them are really useful, and then all the new stuff is also kind of doesn't really flow well with the old stuff either, which really is disappointing, because I really want to see this deck be good. It's one of my favorites, god dang it. Then we got the original heroes, or just elemental heroes in general. A lot of people say that elemental heroes have gotten way too much support, and yeah, 90% of it is filler though. And that really sucks. I want to see these 5 get remade. I really do. Okay, these original 5 are just freaking... I had the original retro heroes have a special place in my heart. I really feel like that if Konami were to just retrain these 5 and also maybe give their originals, their original fusions a retrain as well, the deck could be a lot better. And maybe we can finally move away just from, oh hey, you know, freaking spam of Absolute Zero and Shining. Because really, honestly, I'm not a big fan of the manga heroes in terms of like just their coolness and their usability. I don't really like the manga heroes as much as I do the original heroes. Call that blind nostalgia, but yeah, it is. That's one of I just put them on here. And let's face it, this deck is going to get more support. Cyber Dragons. So, Cyber Dragons, I really feel I could use a bit more support, but they got support rather recently in Breakers of Shadow with Cyber Dragon Infinity and the new Chimera Tech, whose name is, Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. And I really feel like that this deck could use a bit more support. Mostly main deck stuff, though. I feel like the extra deck for Cyber Dragons is fine. They could use a bit more main deck stuff. And then, of course, there's Ancient Gear. Ancient Gear just got their freaking structure deck that gives them a lot more stuff and makes the deck actually playable. And now that the deck is actually playable, I feel like that Konami could really go back and flesh it out a bit more. Because they actually had to go and make it playable first, and now that they have it playable, they can go back and, you know, just flesh it out and stuff. I really feel like that the deck just needs more ways of getting to its combo pieces. And Wyvern's great and all, but he's just one card. Now then, for number 1. The number 1 deck that I really feel like should get more support is Evil Heroes. Out of all the hero archetypes, there's 5, okay? Elemental Heroes, Destiny Heroes, Fission Heroes, Evil Heroes, and then Neos with the Neo-Spacians. Out of all of them... Oh yeah, and I forgot Masked Heroes, so wait. Yeah, 5 still, because Neos and his Neo-Spacians aren't really technically heroes, but they are kind of. So, you know, 5. Elemental, Evil, Masked, Fission... Yeah, that's still 5. I don't know why I'm getting it messed up. Yeah, so it's still 5 counting Neo-Spacians. Evil Heroes have gotten the biggest shaft in terms of... They actually got printed, but they aren't very good, okay? Fission Heroes are hopefully finally coming out, okay? I can't put them on this list because we don't know for sure if they're all coming out. We only know of Fion and, you know, good old Witch Raider and the fusions from forever ago. But Evil Heroes actually did come out, and they're just the most under-supported hero archetype that's actually been printed. They have just the original fusions, you know, that are just retrains of the original Retro Hero fusions, and are better versions of them. But however, in terms of like main deck support, they got nothing. They got the Dark Fusion and Dark Calling, and then three main deck evil heroes, and that's it. You know, they got the bunch of fusions, they got the 2 fusion spells, and they got the 3 monsters. That's it. They have no way of searching Dark Fusion. They have no way of searching Dark Calling. They have to run the original Retro Heroes, which are in desperate need of a retrain. They are just so abhorrently not good that it's incredibly, incredibly sad. And I would just absolutely do anything to see this deck be actually playable. I mean, like, really, honestly, all they really need to do is go back, retrain all the original Retro Heroes, make them into, like, evil heroes that give fusions that use them, that specifically name them more effects or like bonus attack or something, and then give them a way to search out Dark Fusion, and then maybe a few extra new fusions and stuff, and then you're good to go. That's all I really want to see from this, because heroes have just so much support that they can kind of float off of that, but they are still in desperate need of actual stuff to search out Dark Fusion, to make the original heroes better and everything, and this deck is just... It has so much potential because they're better versions of the retro heroes, and they have just better effects. Heck, this here is Evil Hero Inferno Wing, the better version of Elemental Hero Fling Wingman, my personal favorite Elemental Hero. And she's just so much better. She does piercing, she has the same stats and everything. She does the same thing as Fling Wingman where, oh hey, if she kills a monster in battle, she does burn damage. But she does it either in terms of attack or defense, whichever is higher. So, oh hey, if you run over like a super heavy samurai, you're going to be doing a crap ton of damage, if you can run over it. But, like, seriously though, the deck is in desperate need of more support. It is one of those... It is like Cyber Dragons, Cyber Darks, in the very same sense that they have so little support that it just is borderline not playable. And for a hero deck, especially one with as cool designs as evil heroes and as much potential as evil heroes, I really feel like it's just a disservice to the whole hero major archetype, because it's 5 freaking sub-archetypes. It's just such a disservice. Granted, the whole thing that like freaking Fission Hero stuff and all got them printed, that's a big disservice, but that's a different story for a different video. So, really, in all honesty, I'd really love to see evil heroes get more support. So guys, that's my list. What do you guys think? What GX decks do you want to see get printed, well, more support for? There are so many from GX that I couldn't fit them all on this list, or even all on the honorable mentions. We'd be here for an hour, and it's already about a half an hour. And I would just love to see them all get printed. All of them get more support. I want to see all of the GX decks get more support and become actually functional and stuff. And heck, I want to see a lot of the GX anime decks actually get printed. We still don't have Darkness. Well, we have some of it, but we don't have all of it. We don't have all the clear deck. And heck, as I said earlier, we don't have all the Vision Heroes, and it's driving me nuts. So guys, what do you think? What stuff do you want to see? Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later. Peace out. And hey, be sure to check out my Discord link down below. I'm sure a lot of you guys might enjoy that. It's just awesome being able to talk to everybody. And peace out.